do that.
No, not from me.
Clay, I'm sorry, after Clay.
Yeah. I do not have any draft meeting minutes available right now. I think special meeting minutes for January 15th are completed.
Yeah,
And the last meeting we had, I believe, was January maybe 22nd or 23rd.
yeah,
Those meeting minutes are not in a draft form yet.
okay,
I will get those within the next 10 days, along with meeting notes for tonight.
okay.
So if we could table that
Yeah,
till
we
next
will.
meeting for approval,
Yeah, we'll
I
table it.
appreciate it.
Okay, correspondence to the commission. Deborah, Peter, hey, I don't have any.
Nothing, not from this end.
Okay, nothing from me either. Project review from Gail, they're not here, huh?
Wasn't it coming, Debbie?
I didn't hear one way or the other. I know that he received an invitation, but I didn't see anything where he signed in. So maybe he might be a couple minutes late. Sometimes,
Okay, I'll go back to him if he does come in.
All
All
right.
right, Fitchburg Pilot Association update.
I heard from the member from the association, and he said that they don't have anything new to report.
Okay,
Can I interrupt for a minute, folks?
sure.
Can we go back to item 3 on the agenda, the project review, Gail? What do they have to update us on? I mean, I'm looking at runway 1432, final design and construction.
Yeah, basically what that would be, Mr. Mayor, was on the 22nd, which was Monday of this week, they came in and they repainted the lines on the runway.
Right. Yeah,
So that was updated. And also I got a phone call about 5 minutes ago asking me if the guy could come back in because he couldn't get all the work done with the aerial survey at the approach end of 14 and 32. And we're doing that tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock, but it's only going to take maybe 5 minutes. So there's no need to issue a NOTAM. We'll just go in between the planes and I will be there with them.
I mean, when is the project completed? I mean, fully completed.
It won't be fully completed until we've got 90% of the grass growing, which sounds stupid.
Okay.
You know, but that's the situation. It's like a desert out here, especially in the middle. Remember when you were here on the 27th, I think?
Yeah.
It's still the same. It's still the same.
So is that they hydro seeded it, right?
It is.
Is that what they do?
Yeah, but what they're proposing is that
Water.
because there's no rain forecasted, they're
Yeah.
proposing to come in August, September time, which makes a lot of sense from a vegetation point of view. So that's the situation.
The vast majority of the project is completed, obviously.
Yeah,
right?
the project is, the runway's there.
Right.
But we still need the FAA's involvement with the flight to check the reels, the PAPIs, and the approach plates.
Okay, all right.
And
So
they say they're going to do that in December.
why
I've
December?
had meetings with the FAA because they don't have the people because of COVID-19, and that's the plan with the FAA. We've had a couple of additional meetings. Sorry?
But this doesn't preclude us from using the runway, obviously.
Oh, no, not at all.
No.
Well, it does.
Right,
It
that's
does
fine.
at night. It does at night because the planes that use navigational aids at night can't get in because the approach plates aren't there, the reels aren't there, and the PAPIs aren't there. So really, we're
That's not-
working as a daytime airport.
And that's not happening until December?
Right.
Okay.
I've spoken to Jeff DiCarlo. I've spoken to everybody. I've spoken to a guy named Christian Cox, who's one of the top FA guys, and they just don't have the planes to do the work.
Oh, they need, this is an aerial thing that they do?
Right.
Oh,
They actually, they plot the approach plates out physically on paper, and then they get the plane to fly it so that if it's successful, they can issue that in the publications to everybody that wants to fly to Fitchburg.
And that availability is 5 months out?
Yes, sir. I can show you communications that we've had. You know, I don't know who else to go to be honest. I've spoken to the FAA. Mascot Aeronautics can't do anything because it's an FAA function. And the top guy for our area is a guy named Carl Newton. I've spoken to him as well.
Yeah, can you get me the contact information,
Absolutely.
the FAA people, and
Yeah.
I'll make some phone calls. I'll see if we can make a breakthrough somewhere. I mean, well, yeah,
It's crazy.
yeah, okay.
Anything on the second part of it, Mr. Mayor?
Yeah, the gas, self-serve avgas fuel facility. We're
Yeah,
at.
We had a meeting on that last Wednesday, and I brought up the fact that there's no directions on the ground or on the entrance or the exit of the fuel farm. And somebody said, well, why is that important? I said, because you can't have two planes coming in at the same time because airplanes can't back.
Well, who's doing the
So
work?
I want an entrance and an exit put on both sides. Gale are working on that at the moment. It's going to be sent to Mascot Aeronautics tomorrow, and then they're going to forward it to me for approval.
All right, good. Okay.
Welcome, Vincent Pusateri, Councilor, welcome. Okay, moving on. New business. Mr. Mayor, for you, fill commission member vacancy request recommendation to the mayor.
Yeah,
Balls in your court, sir.
yeah. Certainly, I'm gonna try to put my thinking cap on. But if you folks know of anyone that might be interested, that would, I mean, ideally, would not just fill a seat, but have an interest in the airport, maybe have some experience, that would even be even better. But at this point, I think if someone has an interest and is willing to commit,
Okay,
let's go there. But I'm asking you, all of you,
okay.
if you've got some people or a person or what have you, let me know.
Okay,
I have a pilot that's interested.
Okay.
He's got a plane in a T hangar.
We won't hold that
actually-
against them.
He's a member of the cloth. He's a clergyman. And
Oh, he is?
he's very interested, yeah.
Okay.
Very interested.
Where's he live?
In Fitchburg.
Oh, even better.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
So I'll get you his details, okay?
Get me his name. Ask him to submit a resume. Peter.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
okay, that takes care of that for now. Yearly badge access fee, including business. What's going on there?
As you all know, we have access fees that people that come onto the airport that are pilots and own hangars have to get through the security, which is a selfie, or we take a photograph of the person involved, and then it goes to Mascot Aeronautics and a badge is printed with their photograph on it. And that badge gives access to a year. Now, at the moment, the price is $10. I got another one today. But what I'm proposing is that the commission approve that we also give this to people that have businesses on the airport, because they have to get in. We have to pay almost $10 for the badge. So every badge that the people that are business people here are getting in for
Hey,
free. And we are
My
having
computer
to,
wouldn't let me in on that meeting, so I'm at the meeting.
who's this?
Richard Liberatore.
Hey, Rich, how are you?
How are you?
Good, good.
I'm sorry, my computer just wouldn't, I've got too much security on it, it wouldn't let the Zoom in. So I'm listening,
Okay,
just
Oh, welcome.
FYI.
welcome anyway.
So
Okay,
I'm proposing to the commission that we introduce a $10 fee for the, look, you've heard about Nagel. Nagel's coming here into Hangar 10. He's agreed to pay $10 for all of his people because at Hanscom Field, they pay $80 a year. And I know it's different because they do security checks for them. But in principle, he said everybody should have a pass. You can't just get on, without paying. So he's already paid. And that's Nagel. So,
I don't think a $10 fee is unreasonable. I really don't.
but it'll have to go to vote, won't it? You guys will have to vote on it. So,
Okay, I'll submit, the question's been raised about a $10 fee for badges, looking for A motion.
Mr. Chair, can I interrupt?
Go ahead.
The fee for a badge, is this going to be for people that want to visit or the people that work at the airport? The people that work
Just
at
the
the
people-
airport is no charge, correct?
At the moment. But what I'm proposing is that in order to get more revenue in, that we actually apply a $10 charge to those people for their badges, because at the moment, we have to pay for them. It comes out of our budget.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So it's a processing fee. Everybody gets one.
Yes.
$10, I think, and I'm wondering if that's too little, but.
Well, I've got more proposals to increase the revenue as we go forward.
That's fine. No, I think that's a given. I mean, yeah.
I disagree with charging employees of the airport $10 for a badge.
Employees. You mean
Yeah.
our employees?
No, for mechanics at the airport, for flight, for people that would work at the flight school, they gotta pay $10 so they can go to work.
But
Yeah.
doesn't it act as a security feature, so to speak? I mean,
In a way, yes.
you know what I mean? Where,
It gets them into the airport.
yeah,
It gets them through the gates. It gets them into the administration building as well when non-COVID's here to attend meetings. I mean, every other airport around here, Richie, actually pays more. All the Massport guys, everybody has to pay.
and the
When
workers
I
is
worked
what?
at Manchester Airport, the initial badge, I mean, somebody may have paid for it. I don't know if my employer did, but I was only responsible to pay if I lost the badge.
Which means your employer was paying for it.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess it would be up to the employer to decide who, well, he's going to have to pay for all his employees.
Either or they pay
Councilor Pusateri, do you have a question?
themselves. I mean, $10 a year is nothing, is
Yes,
Hold on. Finney?
after Mr. Kettle.
it? No,
So my question,
sorry.
my question is, when they have access to the administration building, they're going to be able to use the facilities, the kitchen area. Is there any concept on, will there be increased traffic? And what wear and tear will you put in that building? And who's the janitorial staff there? And what additional duties would those folks have?
Well, that's exactly it. I mean, the people that service the janitorial areas at the moment are the people that work here. The same as in the little cafe we have, or the kitchen. It's the same situation. And there is wear and tear on the building, there's wear and tear on the doors and everybody that walks through. But we are a public building.
So maybe I misunderstand what's going on here. You're asking for a $10 fee for a badge to enter the administration building only? Or are you asking for $10 badge fee for everyone that works and is part of the airport?
Yes, the second one.
The second one? Yeah.
Yes. Joe Nagel had no problems whatsoever, and you know what Joseph Nagel's like.
I have
No
an idea.
problems at all.
Okay, let's call the question here, gentlemen. What do we want to do?
You've got to have a vote.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Do I have a motion? Okay, I'll make the motion. There's a motion put before the commission to accept $10 fee for all badges for all working personnel at the airport, non-city. All in favor?
Need a second.
Second, Mr. Mayor?
Am I allowed to second? Do I
Yes,
have
you
a
are. You're
vote?
part of the
Yes.
commission.
I do, right? Ex officio? I
Yeah.
second it.
Okay, I've got a motion and second to approve the raised $10 fee for badges. All in favor?
No, from me.
No, nay,
Okay, nay.
Richard?
nay,
Nay? Okay,
nay for council, for Commissioner Liberatory, nay.
okay. Commissioner Raymond?
No.
There's 2 nays. I say yes, and Mayor Di Natale, you're a yay. So we have a non-vote there.
Can I make an inquiry?
Yeah, go ahead.
Would tenants have access to the administrative building? Is that something that, Mr. Kettle, is that something you were considering?
Well, they will have access to it in any case.
They'll have access to the administrative building?
Yes.
Like, for example, each individual member of FACT, could they get a card to have access to the administrative building?
Debbie, can you answer that, please? Because that's something new to me. But my understanding is that in the past, FACT, the Pilots Association, have access to the toilets outside of working hours.
We have not turned on any of the badges except for one badge during a meeting for the Pilots Association that they're in charge of. And obviously the flight school is in the building, so they can get in. So other members, we have not done that because at the time we were working on some type of release or liability for after hours in case something should happen that, you know, overnight. We don't see anybody till 8 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
I believe that was something that the former assistant city solicitor had been working on.
Okay.
Okay, so
Would
where
we
does that
do
leave
a
us?
Deadlocked vote, 2-2.
Yep,
Can
Would
we
it-
take this for when we have a full commission?
yeah, we can bring it back up. Because we have, as the mayor just stated, we have a locked vote, so why don't we table this till next time around when we get everybody's consent on it.
Can we do that, Vinnie, after following a vote that was taken?
Can we bring it up again?
You know what, if you want to just suspend any rules on reconsideration, Mayor, I think your group could do that for sure. I think that we could be as formal about it as possible if we wanted to, but I think the group
Yeah.
could operate with a little informality here. My only, another question on the topic would be, would it be a different outcome on this vote if there was a $10 charge for the tenants themselves to have access to the facility in the administrative building?
That's the part I disagree with. People that want to visit the airport that are non-tenants, I think they should be charged. But people that work at the airport, I don't understand how you could expect somebody that works at the airport to pay for a badge.
So
We do-
where does the revenue come from for the badge?
You worked, Clay, you
From the-
worked somewhere else, another airport, right?
Yeah.
What did they charge you for your badge?
Well, they're like I said, my employer, I would assume,
Okay.
paid for the badge and it came with the security, you know.
Yep,
But if I lost the badge, it was either $100 or $150.
okay,
So that probably is what it initially cost. I don't know.
okay. Taking into consideration the number of employees that are at the airport right now and the number of buildings that we have, Peter, what would you say the total amount would be?
In total,
Just a rough number.
it would be maybe $250, $300 a
Total
year.
complete. For all the employees of,
Everybody, yes.
that's not a lot of money.
Does that include the FACT members, if I can interrupt?
No, no, it doesn't. They don't work here, Vinny. They already pay for their badges. FACT pay. All the people that fly here pay. The only people that don't pay are the businesses.
You know,
Peter,
Peter, I
what's the
Prices, you know,
total?
it's-
suggest that if we're tabling this, raise it up at the next meeting, it gives you some time to refine your proposal.
Yep.
You know,
Okay,
clarify it a little better so that Commissioner Raymond maybe, just a little, maybe we need to be a little clearer on who's included in this.
That would be helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
okay, sir.
spirit of moving on, yeah.
Moving on, manpower.
Okay, I'd just like to bring it to the commission's attention that I'm having to work 12 days in a row in the past, over the weekends as well, fueling aircraft, because we are down one lineman who's been out for 12 weeks. And we're now down with one part-time guy. So I can't just close the airport down. I have to fill airplanes on the weekends when there's nobody available. And I'm cutting grass out on the runways and keeping the place looking respectable. I'd just like to let you guys know that in terms of, am I enjoying the job? Yeah, I am enjoying the job. I can't say that, but I am getting tired because of the loss of manpower.
Well, why is that person had been out for 12 weeks, you said?
Yes,
What, medical issue? What
Yes.
are we talking about?
yes.
What is the medical issue?
Yeah, what's the issue? Yeah.
Am I allowed to say?
Well,
No.
I don't know. No, I'm saying,
Ever since COVID-19 came up as a threat
Alright, is
to
he-
a person's health,
compromised in some way? and
Yes,
That's why
yes.
he can't, okay.
and I have been taking people from the DPW. Gary Withington's been absolutely fantastic, and you know I've been paying double salaries because this guy's getting paid, and also you know I'm having to pay the DPW in order to keep this place ongoing. The unfortunate thing is that in the past it's been reactive maintenance. There's been no preventative maintenance.
Yeah.
Now we're putting things right, and we are working towards a preventative maintenance system, which is going to make it much, much easier. Where I personally believe that one manager and two linemen plus Debbie can run the airport.
You were getting help from the DPW, right?
Yes.
Okay, is that help still ongoing?
No.
Well, what
I
do you
need
got?
to speak to Nick Bossanetto.
All right. Folks, I'm going to talk, I'll bring this up with Susan Davis tomorrow and find out what we can do about it. I'm not sure. Again, uncharted territory given COVID-19.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to be falling into a situation when we try to expand and reopen City Hall and public buildings. We're going to be faced with not just how do we do that safely, but you're going to have employees that are going to say, I'm not comfortable coming back.
What happened?
Do with that, you know what I mean? So we've got a lot of work to do on that, but it's a kind of a moving target, you know? And
It is.
so let me see what I can cull from all of this with Susan and just see where we can go on it.
But we need to get Peter some help. Because he can't work
Yeah, I mean,
4 days
I mean,
straight.
And of course, again, this person's out because he has some other medical issue, right? I mean,
Yes, sir.
that makes him susceptible. Okay, all right. We'll, Peter, I'll get back to you when I learn more. Okay.
Okay, I am talking to Susan about it. I'll let you know
All
that.
right. Yeah.
And she's waiting for answers.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Okay.
I'll touch base with her tomorrow.
All right, thank you.
All right, Peter, not with the airplanes on tie down?
Yeah, on the ramp here, we've got 8 planes that basically are wrecks. They're just sitting there. Some are paying their bills, they're $80 a month, but some aren't. We don't know who they are. We don't know how to contact them.
We don't even know who they are, Peter? We don't
No,
know-
we've got names, but we don't know how to contact them. There's no phone. There's no
They're
nothing.
allegedly the people that own the plane?
Yes.
Hmm.
They've deregistered their planes so that we can't find out who they are with the
This
FAA.
sounds like a job for superhero Pusateri.
Bring it on, Mayor.
Here's your cape. Show them your cape. Come on.
Well, I took it off before I got on with the meeting.
How do we deal with
I
this?
didn't want Rich Liberatore to see me in my superhero outfit.
Okay.
He'll
I just
spread
hope
it
you have
around
your
town.
mask on.
What do
Do
we
we
do
have
in
the
a
power
case
of
like
auction
that,
on
Ben?
those?
What do we
have the
do
power
in a case
of
like
auction?
that, you know?
Repeat?
Can I
Ben?
say something?
Benny,
Yes.
what do we do in a case like that? We have a name, but we have no address or contact info, yet it's certainly a blight and an eyesore. So,
Well, we might turn to our favorite resource, Facebook, and we'll just begin searching around for somebody's name. They could own real estate. We might want to look them up in the local registry of deeds.
Okay.
We could use the Secretary of State's website, run their name through that, see if they're involved in any business organization or anything like that. And there's
Debbie,
a
you've
couple
been
other
around
tools.
forever. Deb, any of these names familiar to you?
We have most of the names. We have most of the contact information. It's more that the plane is in blight. I
Right,
could think
disrepair.
only one, right, in one case, we inherited the plane that's in really bad condition and have submitted bills to them. They haven't been returned as far as I know. We tried to put a mechanic's lien on that particular plane, and the FAA sent it back to us because it's deregistered.
Okay. Vinny, what the names that she has with addresses, what do we do? Can we send them some kind of
I think we would send them some type of notice. Then my question
Right.
would be, if we wanted to dispose of these planes, do we know how much, what would be involved? Do we would work with a local company for them to scrap the plane, or what would we do?
I have a call into Mass Aeronautics to Owen Silbau, and I've told him that we've got 8 planes online. We do have names, but not for every one of them. And I said, look, I'd like to hold an auction. Advertise the planes, let's get them auctioned off, because some of them have been here over a year, not paying their bills. So that's almost $1,000. So, you know, it's an eyesore outside. Debbie said it looks like a junkyard, which it does.
Yeah.
You know,
And these are airworthy, Peter?
I'm sorry.
They're airworthy?
No.
I mean,
No, they're not. No,
Okay.
the tires are flat. They're on the ground.
Yeah. Let's get moving on this. Yeah.
How about, can I just suggest,
Yeah.
Mr. Mayor, that I know that we have a fee agreement or a lease agreement for tie downs. I know that we did that a couple years ago. For folks that don't or haven't executed that agreement, we may want a general regulation on the airport that if you fail to pay your bill, that the airport would take possession of it under certain circumstances, and then be prepared to dispose of it, whether it be by public auction or what it might be. But there's got to be a mechanism that we have so that we could actually take title to these vehicles in order to be able to sell them. And that's what we'll have to look at doing.
Okay.
So because to Peter's idea, I think it is the right idea to try to hold an auction to get them sold. You kill 2 birds with 1 stone there, but if we don't actually have title to the vehicles, I don't know that we can sell them.
Right.
You can't.
So we'll have to figure that out. And there might be a way we can shop around for someone who's put in a regulation or airport regulation together about abandoned property like this. But it would be something that we should, because the other option would be that the city would have engaged in an eminent domain of an airplane. So you could see ourselves auctioning off an airplane for a couple of $1,000, and then the owner coming back with an appraisal saying that that was their, $15,000 airplane, and that we owe them, $15,000, and that would be make our financial situation even that more difficult. So,
Well, do an appraisal prior to it. Would that not take care of that if there was an appraisal done?
so if we were to do an eminent domain, ordinarily you would get an appraisal of the property prior to the taking, and then you would take it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the cost of getting someone to come and appraise the planes for, but then whatever the value of that plane is, we'd have to go to the treasurer's office. They write a check out for the value of that plane, and they have to set it aside until the constituent comes and picks up the check. It has to be ready and available for them immediately. I think this commission has authority to do takings. I know we did it with land.
Mhm.
I'd have to just review personal property. I think you probably do, though. But I'd rather not go the takings route because I don't want to see us looking for money, because you'd have to get an appropriation from city council to do those takings.
Okay. So we can just, you're gonna get some more information on it,
So
Counselor?
I think we should get a regulation about the accrual of a fee being a lien,
Okay,
because I think that will also help us if you have to take a piece of property, if it's encumbered by a lien. Then
okay.
we'll have to work on that.
All right, so we can work on that. Okay. All right, thank you all. Okay, under old business. Hangar 10 update, Nagel Aircraft. Peter?
Yeah, I'm pleased to let everybody know that Joe Nagel signed his sublease with Rich Corley. He's moving in on the 1st of July. In order to do that, we supplied the manpower to make his hangar look like a decent hangar because he has high clientele. He has an $11 million business that he's bringing from Hanscom Field to here. And he's moving in on the 1st of July. So what we had to do was abrade the floor and paint the floor, pegboard on the inside walls, paint the walls, new LED lights installed above and painted. Now, he's paid for all the stuff. And basically what we've done is we've applied it all. And the hangar looks absolutely fantastic. And Mr. Mayor, I would like you at some time to come over and meet the gentleman, because his intention is to be here and build a $1.2 million hangar of 10,000 square feet
I'd
for
love
his
to meet
business
him.
going forward.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I'll arrange that if I may.
Yes.
Um,
please.
So basically everything's on the go. The only thing that he has to do is build a business area in the back part of Hangar 10. And he's dealing with Mark
Badoro.
Avadoro,
Avadoro.
building
Avadoro.
commissioner.
on this. So hopefully that'll all go down all right, and everything is going according to plan. It looks like a brand new hangar. It
Good.
really does look good. So
Outstanding. Yep.
Okay, good. All right, rent abatements during construction shutdown.
yeah,
Yeah.
well, as you know, I had one letter from one business owner here, and I've had discussions with other people saying that they don't believe it's fair that they should pay the full rent for the time that the airport was shut down, having the runway rebuilt or remanufactured. My opinion is it's all part of doing business. One particular gentleman had to rent a facility at Nashua, and it cost $1,600 for that 1 month. And he said he'd like to pay the difference of the $1,600 and take that off what he owes the airport whilst he's at Nashua. And that is a contract that he has with the CAP. And under those conditions, you know, he had to honor that contract. Now, again, me being like I am, that's all part of doing business, as far as I'm concerned. And as you guys know, I sent an email to the commission with that letter asking your opinions on it. And I'm still waiting for an answer of whether we apply a rent abatement to everybody on the airfield, or whether we continue and just carry on as normal and ask them to pay their bills.
My
Do you know
opinion
what
is,
other airports have done? Or are doing?
Excuse me?
Other airports? Municipal? airports?
One airport did, one airport didn't.
Okay.
how much
what's-
money are we talking about here, Peter?
Uh,
Peter froze.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Counselor.
and I know that Debbie knows this, but if anyone is going to get a break for the time period in which the airport is shut down, we have finally completed a
Oh,
land
I didn't hear
lease
that.
for,
I'm sorry.
if I'll just repeat myself, just, if we're gonna give somebody a break, and I stress if they don't have a current up-to-date lease, that might be a valuable consideration. We'll give them a little bit of a break, but they have to sign a new lease. And while you may lose a little money now, you're gonna have some increased annualized revenue moving forward. Because a lot of the places, Debbie's been pointing out to me, they haven't updated their rent. I don't know, Peter may have looked into this by now. And we had been talking for a period of time now about having them update their leases. So if we're talking about lining up all of the tenants and having them come to us for something, we do need something from them, which is the new leases signed and perhaps maybe small increases in their rents.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
in lines what Vinny was saying, even if somebody is pay at will, why, and it's obvious the airport doesn't have extra money to rebate a month, maybe we could just tell them, okay, but we're gonna have to, raise their rent for a year, 1/12 of the fee. I mean, we have to have the money. It's not like we go up on their rent every year. We held off on not going up on their rent prior to the airport project. And now they want us to not charge them for the month that they, weren't able to use the airport. So, boy, there's no winners here. I mean, I would like to see a proposal to come up with some kind of a way for us to get the monies from them over the next year, but not gift them, $2,000 for rent or whatever it may be.
okay.
Mr. Chair, to add to that,
Yep.
I don't want to lose the fact that they're going to have also an improved amenity. They're going to have a improved runway at the airport. Plus, they've just received the improved administrative building. And if they are receiving key access to the building, their amenities are going up, but their rent is not. So it certainly would support what the commissioner just pointed out, and maybe support making it permanent.
Okay.
And self-serve fuel.
So we got, so we're looking at basically what we, trying to answer the question here, whether we abate back the rent or not. From what I've heard, from more considerations here, I think Vinny hit it on the head, going forward. I think that's a program that we need to go along with. Does everybody understand what it was? Everybody on board with that?
I am.
Yeah, I got it.
You got it, Rich?
Yes.
Yep, I got it.
Clay, you got it?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. If we were to give back any monies, we have to compensate by increased rent, or some kind of leverage. Use it as some kind of leverage to have them sign a lease agreement for at least 5 or 10 or longer years.
I think that's the crux of the proposal, and I agree with it. I think it's a good deal for the city, for the airport, for all concerned.
I have a question.
Yes,
Vinny, grant assurances, if we apply it to one, wouldn't we have to apply it to every tenant?
So if we offer a yes, so you prepared that spreadsheet, and so we'll have a list of all the different tenants, and we know the ones that don't have the leases, and we would have to offer that out. But whatever we do for one of them, there would be an increase in all the rents. Now, I don't know about, you're going to have to approach, is FACT looking for a reduction in this month?
They've already paid the bill, I think.
Okay. Because, to go back and negotiate an increased amount there would be an event.
We can't, Vinnie, can we? Because there's an automatic increase every year for the next 60 years. At 1.5%, I believe it is, every year.
Is it already spelled out in the lease with everyone?
Sorry?
Is
Repeat the
it
question.
already spelled out in leases or rental agreements with everyone at the airport?
Just with honestly, we're just with FACT.
Hmm.
We're with the flight school.
Yeah.
And
Bullock.
I think, go ahead. And Bullock.
So who is looking, pardon my ignorance, who is looking for the abatements now or the rent reductions?
Bullock,
Private,
Bullock Hangar,
yep,
Twin City Air Motive,
yeah,
and the flight school.
okay.
We've also had some inquiries from our hangar tenants.
Okay,
The city of Fitchburg's a tenant. Are they looking for a break on the rent?
Who?
The city of Fitchburg.
Yeah. Hey,
Okay.
what about Aeromotive? I mean, does he have a case because there had no work on planes or anything like that? I mean,
They never closed their shop.
they were still working.
Yeah.
so you don't get a kick.
So what's he basing an abatement on?
That he had to go to Nashua to service the CAP planes that he has a contract with. Because those planes couldn't fly in and out of Fitchburg.
Those planes normally are at Fitchburg.
Yes. Well, no, they fly in for service. He does the whole of New England.
Oh, okay. They weren't flying in because of the runway. Okay.
So,
Okay.
Mr. Chair,
Yes,
maybe Twin City is the only ones that, really do qualify for an abatement.
okay. Peter, your thoughts on that?
Well, basically under those conditions, yes, he's the only one that really suffered.
Can I just suggest on Debbie's earlier comment, we should have a rule to award an abatement that would be consistently applied to meet the grant assurances. And we could simply say a demonstrable out-of-pocket expense exceeding a certain amount
And in
could lead
his
to an
case,
abatement.
it would be what?
The 1,600, I think.
They have to go to Nashua, that kind of thing,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Peter, didn't the flight school use Gardner?
I believe so, but I'm not 100% sure. I believe so.
So the same rule would apply, I would think.
It would have to.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving forward, are we going to look at just Twin City or what do you want to do here? What do you
And
think?
what kind of an abatement are we talking about here?
Well, the one for Twin City would be, he's looking for $1,600, which is what he paid at Nashua. So I think his total bill is something like 27, is it, Debbie?
Um, $29.99.85. So just under 3.
Yeah.
That's what he's looking for? Did any of these guys file with my community development group with the state and federal bailout grant funding? That's a perfect example right there. You know what, Peter, get me the name of Twin City Aeromotive, the guy that owns it, and the flight school guy. Get me their contact info, and I'll have someone from Skorowski's shop call them and say, look, this is available to you. This is the purpose of it. Exactly why you're claiming that you're suffering through the COVID, which you probably are, but these funds are there for you. And we'll walk them through the application process and we'll see if we can get them some money.
I don't know that this was a
Across the
COVID event.
airport, right?
Yeah. That should also apply to the flight school, shouldn't it?
Flight school as well, absolutely. Hey, they can apply. Everybody can apply. It's just a matter of whether or not you're going to qualify. And in this case, I don't see there being any problem.
But in the meantime, what do we do?
Why don't we hang fire until the mayor talks to these people and gets the information back to them?
Yeah, you give me the contact info. I'll pass that off to community development. They're the ones coordinating the grant funding that's available on the federal and state side. So
Just hang fire on this issue until you.
yeah, and let them. We'll have somebody contact them and walk them through the process.
Okay. All right, item C.
Just on that, before we leave the point, could we
Yeah.
put a notice out about the mayor, what the mayor has just said to the tenants, and then invite them to supply you any documents of their out-of-pocket expense?
Yeah, that's a
And
good
give
idea.
them 1 month so that when we get back together next month, we kind of have a deadline, and if we
Yeah.
don't, and we have a known quantity of what we're dealing with.
Okay,
Because that would be fair. Give them 30 days for out-of-pockets, because we're going to consider it. We can't make up our mind without knowing what they're looking for. And then I think the mayor's got to write, you know, that money will come in and it'll come back to the city this way.
Right.
I get it. That's good.
Okay.
All right, moving on. All right, in the same, about the same area, finance charge and/or late fees assessed for rent and fuel.
Right. I actually sent an email out to everybody in the airport saying, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. As the airport continues to develop for the future, we obviously need revenue to pay airport bills. And as such, we are requesting you to bring your accounts up to date with the airport for both rents and fuel. We would appreciate you doing this prior to the month end of June, as that is our fiscal year end where we need to close out the accounts. Your help in getting this accomplished is greatly appreciated. Now, I got a list of who owed money prior to me sending this out, and tomorrow I'm going to ask for another list to see who's actually paid.
Okay,
Now, that was the first thing. But, you know, if they don't pay and we don't have it on any of our contracts at all, I would still like to see a finance charge or a late fee rent of 18% a year, like most other cities have, 1.5% a month. If they don't pay the bills, this is what you're going to be charged. There's nothing there that's making them pay the bills. And if they don't want to pay them, they just don't pay. Whereas if I don't pay my land lease where I live, you know, I get choked with an increase.
Counselor, what do you think on that?
You know, a general regulation on the airport for outstanding bills. We go back to what we talked about, would be 1% every 30 days. I mean, that's what we charge in the private office for outstanding bills. And, you know, whether or not other action can be taken, maybe we should spell it out for them. I mean, they all have a plane there, and it could subject the plane to a lien.
Okay.
We need that extra enforcement mechanism, I think.
Okay,
We need to kind of take some time, Peter, maybe, and think about what that regulation would look like so we can bring it back to the commission.
good idea. Okay,
Okay,
all right. Item D, standard operating procedure.
that's ongoing. I just haven't had a chance to even look at it, to be
I
honest.
got one coming from Rhode Island too for you. All right, drones.
Okay, the drone situation, I have the presentation ready to make to the police, the Department of what are they, parks, but I stopped it because of COVID.
Mhm.
And basically I've got all the signs. MassDOT Aeronautics provided the signs for us, limiting the drone flying areas. I just need to make the presentations to the police and, you know, the areas, the public works as well, because they're gonna have to put the actual signs in. So we are awaiting the opening of COVID before we can do that.
Okay. All right. Drones. Building 6 demolition.
That will go on to the airport master plan,
Okay.
which is hopefully done in, I think, August or September of this year.
All right. The solar farm.
That's ongoing. I've had no
Okay,
contact
hang
with
on.
them at all since COVID-19.
Okay. Manager update.
Yeah, I just put that in there just to bring a little bit of a snigger from everybody. Basically, you know, my tenure was 4 to 6 weeks. I'm now into my 25th week, and I'm enjoying every minute of it. So, you know, that's all I wanted to say.
And 36 more weeks to go. We love it.
Thank you, sir.
All right, next agenda
Peter, we
item.
love having you there.
Okay.
Next agenda item.
Yeah.
May have pushed that one right along, didn't he?
All right.
Okay,
All in favor?
financial review.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Thank
Look,
you.
let me tell you something. I'm gonna speak off the record a little bit here.
Yeah,
I've been going back and forth to the airport signing documents for him as acting chair. And the guy's been working like a slave out there.
I know.
And,
Yes.
I know you know. And I think that we need to consider him. He put forth a proposal from July of this coming July to the following July, if we paid him according to the proposal extension in the budget. Something we have to consider because he's a good man. And if we lose him now without anybody else in the wings, we got a problem. Moving on.
Absolutely.
All right, financial review, item
We've had
7.
this discussion, so it's, you know, a lot falls on me and then in turn, the commission to do the right thing. So, and again, this opportunity, Peter, thank you so much.
Yes.
I mean, where the airport is operating the way it should operate.
Yeah, it is.
It's never been more organized or proactive than it has been since you've taken over. So the city of Fitchburg, certainly, we really appreciate it. You know, the exposure the airport's getting is the kind of exposure we've always talked about, but we're actually seeing it now. We're seeing the reality of it. I mean, that airport runway had made a difference. The fuel, self-serve fuel, the fact that you're there, focused and determined to make that facility the best it can be. And we're very fortunate to have you in that position. Thank you for your willingness to do it.
Got a good team out there.
I didn't put that in there to get this sort of comment back.
Oh, you did too. Come on.
Yeah, you did. Don't lie to the commission.
It's
We've got a
okay.
very, very good team operating when we're all here.
Yeah.
And it's the team that's
No, we're blessed to have a good team. You and Debbie both. You're an
Yeah.
excellent team.
Yeah, that's right. I can't forget Deb. Yeah. She's getting my Cigar Aficionado magazines. Where's my next one? Where is it?
Every 2 months.
Oh, every 2 months. Okay. All right. Okay.
Okay, moving forward.
Yeah.
All the compliments are done. All right, very good. All right, financial review, approval of commitments and statements.
Abatement.
Yeah. Abatement.
Sorry.
As you know, you'll have seen the email from Debbie.
Yeah,
A quick spreadsheet with the amounts for the commitments and abatements for March, April, May, and June, which amount to $81,000. Like Debbie put the form in front of you in the past, if you could just vote on it now to get it approved, so that can be authorized. So you need to have a vote, and then it can be sent to the treasurer's and the auditor's office.
everybody see it?
Yes,
Yep.
Clay, Rich?
yes.
Yeah, I got it.
Now you see it? All right, move to accept, looking for a second.
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Motion carries. Okay.
May I add something to the financial review before we move to item 8?
Sure.
I'd just like to read you a little letter that I propose sending out, but I need your agreement before I do it.
Okay.
This is to all the people, the tenants on the airport and the businesses. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Further to our previous email requesting you to pay your outstanding balances for fuel and rent by the end of June 2020, as we move forwards on the continuing development of the airport to meet the needs of the city with respect to having an airport that can attract new businesses. Due to the airport location and length of runway, we are seeking ways to make additional revenue. One such way, which is long overdue, almost 7 years now since the airport instituted a rental increase. We're advising you that as from the 1st of August, we will be introducing a 6% increase on all rents, both ground and building rents. We are sure that you all understand the situation we are in with the addition of the new 4 million administration building, the 14.3 million new runway and the new fuel farm at $876,000. These new improvements were provided by the FAA, 5% payment by the airport, and also MassDOT Aeronautics, 10% payment by airport. And combined mean that the airport has to pay back the city almost $1 million over 20 years. Thank you for your understanding, and we look forward to making the Fitchburg Municipal Airport the best GA airport in New England, or in fact, the USA.
Excellent.
6% rent increase.
Very well done.
Yep.
Okay,
Do you need to have a vote on that?
How much money would 6% of all the rents be?
About 100 and, yeah, about $120,000. Is that right?
No. I'm trying to figure it out, Peter, myself.
$1,200 a month.
It's what, sorry?
$1,200 a month. If it's 20, we're collecting 20,000 a month now.
Yeah, our budget was like 660,000. So
Of rent.
You're not going to be able to increase 6% for people that have a lease already.
why?
Well, because they have a 10-year lease at a fixed price.
Yeah, but that only applies to FACT, I believe, doesn't it?
In the Fitchburg Pilots Association has a lease.
yeah.
And is that built into
And
that?
so doesn't the flight school has a lease?
You mean so does the flight school?
Yes.
So the
Yeah,
flight
but
school,
that's out. The flight school one runs out. I think it's already run out. It was a 3-year lease, wasn't it? And we've been going 4 years now in this building. So
4 years in that building?
yeah,
Wow.
2016.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure that 6% is enough.
Well, hence my letter. I can change that to 20 if you want. You know?
All right, so so you're
I mean,
looking,
we haven't had a rent increase for almost 7 years.
Yeah.
okay,
And if you take 1.5% over 7 years, it's 10%.
So everybody that's either do a new lease or doesn't have a lease, they're gonna go up 6% or higher.
Yeah.
Correct?
That's my proposal, but you guys are the commission.
okay. Where did we lost our council, where'd he go?
no, I'm just looking up the flight school lease.
Oh, okay, all right,
So, Peter, if we were to boil this down, because we're looking at the commitments, $20,000, $20,000, 6% of all of that is $1,200.
Right.
But that includes monies that we get from FACT, and that includes monies that we get from Pittsburgh Pilots Association.
Yeah, everything's in that, yeah.
So they won't be part of the 6% increase, correct?
Right.
So we're really only talking probably half of that, or less than half of that.
okay, so so you're talking roughly what, how much, Clayton or Rich?
Well, I don't know what each, what everyone pays. I know combined it's 20 grand. So if it was
Right.
6% of 20 grand, it would be $1,200. So off the top of my head, if half of that, if only the 6% applies to half of that, we're talking $600 a month.
Yeah,
That's still small dollars.
yeah, it is. So why don't we find out, get a list together of who has an upcoming lease and what they're paying now. The ones that are going to be coming on board shortly, and we can apply this to them. Does that sound reasonable?
Yeah, and we got to keep it fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we have to determine what fair is going to be at this point.
Yeah, I mean, some
I
people
have
have
those
a land lease,
for-
some people lease the building.
Yes, Debbie, what?
I have those numbers for FACT, Pilot Association, and Bullock, if you'd like them.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank-
So you want to add 2,641.67 is FACT.
2041-67. Yep, go ahead.
Yeah, 2,641.
I'm sorry, 2006-41. Yep, go ahead.
Bullock is 25.99.
Yep.
Pilot Association is 162.86, $162.
162.86.
Yes,
About 5,300, isn't it?
But Bullock's lease has a rent escalation clause in
Right.
there.
FACT does as well, and so does the Pilot Association.
So
Right.
they will only be able to, so you won't maybe you won't get the full 6% there, but you'll get something.
Okay.
So looking at this quick math, 20, 45, 46, about $4,800 minus 20 grand. So let's call it 15,000, 6%.
Yeah,
So that's better.
okay.
I got 54 minus 20. You're saying 20?
Yes.
Okay, so what are we looking for? What are we looking for a ruling here, for a motion? What do we want to do?
I guess my big concern is I would just want to make sure that the 6% brings us in line with what the value of their space is. If you think 6% is putting it in line with everyone else on the airport or other airports in the area, I'm fine with that. If 8 or 9% is more in line with what that space is valued at, I'm all about going up to that as well.
Okay. Vinny, do we have any information about the other airports? Or we just, is that wishful thinking?
I think what we tried to do, I think Peter spent a lot of time working with assessors and appraisers, trying to figure out the cheapest way for him to go and
Yeah.
calculate what the commissioners just asked for. And
Okay,
I think that the cost of that is in a way, it's cost prohibitive to get the correct information. And in a way, we can't go without it any longer. And that's, we're stuck in the middle of that.
mhm. Okay. Okay,
So maybe what we should probably do is just get together and try to make our best guess and best effort based upon the limited information we actually have. But certainly doing something would be better than nothing.
Absolutely.
And any increase is better than sitting around talking about increases.
okay.
Would
So
you like phone
Go ahead.
calls? Would you like me to make phone calls to the different airports to find out what their tie-down rates are, what their hangar rates are, just the basic?
That would be nice. That way, then we got a barometer to go by.
Okay,
And
And we'll table this to the
if
next meeting.
we know we have tenants out there that haven't had a raise in their rents for over 4 to 6 years.
Okay,
I mean, and really, we're going up 1.5 or 1 3/4% on everyone else that has a lease. Maybe we should just do 1 3/4 times the number of years we haven't gone up. Do you follow me?
Yes.
yeah.
That would be in line with everyone else at the airport.
Okay, but the second part of the question was brought up, and you made the point. Should we pay him 6, 7, 8, 9?
Well, for instance, it might be different for different people. Like suppose if somebody hasn't had an increase in 5 years, 5 times 1.75 is an increase of 8.75%.
Yeah,
You know, that's simple math. It doesn't
Don't
take
do a
into
sliding
consideration you're losing money every year because you're not based on 1.5% per year. But
what about a sliding scale?
well, I don't want to get it complicated.
Okay, I just asked, that's all. That's all. Just asked.
Debbie, I just found the spreadsheet that you put together with itemizing all the tenants and their lease status and maybe that's something that Peter could review it and make some determination consistent with the commissioner per year, a percentage amount, and then come up with a number that way.
Okay, I like that.
I wish I could share this with everybody.
So just to be clear, Peter,
Yeah,
I am in a total agreement that the letter should go out. An increase is coming. They should expect it, and we should tell them about it. I like the time frame, but my only problem is I want to make sure that it's enough, because you're not going to go back to them next year and ask for another 4%.
Okay, so the letter can go out. Can it go out without a number until we're sure what we're talking about based on the information that Vinny's going to give us?
I think it would be a letter with no legs.
Okay. All right, so what do you want to put it, 6%?
I would like to just give the Peter the authority to go up as he sees fit based on what we've just spoken about.
Okay. We put it in a motion. Clay?
Yeah, I got to be clear on the increase. Vinny, do you know what the increase is on our standard rents per year? Is it 1 3/4 or 1.5%?
It's tied to us. It's not that easy. It's tied to the consumer price index, and there's a multiple of that. FACT unfortunately negotiated a lesser on the consumer price index,
Yeah.
but the current one that we're using that is I would just for your motion, I think you could incorporate by reference the increase amount set forth in the lease between the airport and the city of Fitchburg. And I think it would be a good tool or a good measuring stick, because I think we could tell all the other tenants that's what the city is paying. And I would go from there.
Okay. I would
So
like.
if I could just restate that, the city is representing, the city is renting the AKS area from the airport, if we remember that correctly. And in that lease, there is a provision in that lease for an increase annually in rents, which is passed on to AKS. That would be the same increased amount, and the multiple would be the number of years since the last increase. So there would be a rental increase for each tenant in an amount consistent with that set forth in the City of Fitchburg lease, airport to City of Fitchburg, times the number of years outstanding since the last rental increase.
You got that, Clay?
I have the gist of it, yes.
Okay.
I would like to motion for Peter to send a letter stating an increase in rents based on the yearly increases that the city of Fitchburg already has lease agreements with for the number of years since the last rent increase.
Okay.
Period.
Wait a second. You still there,
second.
Rich?
That's
Yeah,
fine.
I'm second it.
Rich. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody nay? The ayes have it, motion carries.
but I have a question, please.
Yes,
This will not apply to the people that already have leases, right?
That's correct.
Okay. And also, you guys said once you've made that, you can't increase it next year. Well, why don't we make up for the shortfall and then increase it by the same amount as AKS every year?
Yes.
Instead of just saying, oh no, in another 5 years, I've got to put a rent increase in. Let's do it every year and not get into this situation.
That's fine.
That should be in the letter too. Every year, it's gonna go up 1.75%,
Right.
or whatever that figure is. I don't know it offhand.
Yeah. Okay. That's all I wanted to clarify. Thank you.
You'll remember that because you'll be managing next year.
Yes, thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Okay, manager's operation report.
Okay, first of all, I know he's not here, but I would like to, on behalf of all of us, I believe, thank Nick Ippolito for doing a fantastic job on getting this
I agree.
for us.
I agree.
Yep.
Really
Thanks.
was a fantastic job, and he's doing the same sort of self-conscious effect with the new self-serve fuel farm as well.
Yeah,
Good.
that'll
So
look good.
we're very lucky, to be
Yep.
honest. Now, in terms of operational report, well, as you all know, the new runway opened on the
Peter,
23rd.
can I
of May.
interrupt for, Peter, can I
Yes, sir.
interrupt for a minute?
Yeah.
Speaking of Mr. Ippolito, can you get me who he works for?
Yes.
Get me the name of who he reports to?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'd like to call him and tell him how fortunate it is to have him in the organization.
Yeah, his name is John Lundberg.
Yeah, just send me,
I'll send it to
email
you.
it to me.
I'll send it to you.
Okay.
Okay.
Going along with that, and I'm sure the mayor can do that, but I think a nice letter from the commission would also,
Yeah, That's a
also
good idea. Yeah,
singing his praises would,
Yeah.
if you could put that together, I'd be happy to sign it.
Okay, so going ahead, the new runway, 23rd of May, the self-serve fuel farm is on track to make the 30th of June. The tank and the pumps are being delivered this Thursday, and then it should be up and running by the end of, well, on the 30th, which is next Wednesday, I believe. In order to do preventative maintenance, we've introduced new door seals to hangars 12 and 13. We put a brand new door on hangar 2. All weeds treated around FACT hangars, which is part of our agreement that they pay $12,000 a year for. And in line with that agreement, plus a lot of other improvements. If you come down to the airport, you'll see. So really, that is my update, manager's operation report. We've discussed a lot of what we've done in the past already and within the agenda here. If anybody's got any questions for me, I'd be glad to answer them.
Anybody have anything?
No, but thank you very much, Peter, for all you've done for
Really?
this interim position.
Yeah,
Here, here.
Thank you.
fantastic job. Council Pusateri and Mr. Mayor, thank you for joining us tonight.
Yeah,
Anybody got anything else?
it was a pleasure.
Looking
good.
for a motion to adjourn.
I
Make a
motion.
motion to adjourn.
Second that.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
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 So moved.
I hope our next meeting's face to face.